The Austrian Eagle there dancing behind in support.
Of course he's dancing behind the women's national team. Who wouldn't?
Who would?
Yeah.
Strong effort there from the Eagle. They're giving the referee some attention. Bit of bird on beard action for Rob Kearns.
So the second game of the European Championships and the first.
So there you see the Austrian lineup there.
And we see the Slovenian lineup, and you also can see now the squad of the Slovenians on the screen. We get to find out who are the starting six, because they brought a whole bunch of players and also reached, I guess, the full limit of the squad you can bring.
That's right, it looks like there's a whole 12 there.
Yeah, also experienced older players at the Slovenian side.
Absolutely, yeah, recognising quite a few players, possibly from far back as Stockholm a few years ago. Yeah, you're definitely right, the Austrian team are definitely the younger here. But that's not to discredit the Slovenian team. They are consistently strong, quite an aggressive play style, which I think you'll see here. Lots of passing around, lots of motion.
Yeah. The Austrians actually encountered the Slovenian team in an Austrian dodgeball tournament in March, because the Slovenian team came over.
Not too far.
Yeah, not too far, and played an amateur tournament.
Right.
Right here in the spot, so they are used to the venue. They know what's going on. And we have the game started.
They maybe you saw what's going on, but they weren't ready for that run at all. The Austrians take all three balls, retain one for defence. Good tactic.
Yeah, very solid start. 3-ball coverage, and
that's not going to trouble the Austrian girls there.
And 2 balls at the Austrian side. They have to throw,
but they've only gone for throwing the one.
They choose just to throw one. Different from the first attack, and the counter attack, was it? No, it was no
hit there. The only problem there with throwing one when you have the 2 balls is that throwing a single is very, very
and
easy
there was a hit.
To pick off.
There was a hit at both sides. Both sides lost a player.
You're answering in kind, bouncing the ball by the feet of Nicola there on the right.
Vor einigen Monaten hier bei uns schon zu Gast auf der Schweiz bei einem der Turniere.
So the Austrians there taking 2 balls, discussing their target. They're going to have to watch that person there. You see a pass from Slovenia and straight into the arms of Nicola there, I believe on the right. That's the Slovenian player out, taking down to 4 players. And we get that one back in. Another catch from Austria, absolutely fantastic, and a hit there from Austria. This is absolutely... What a fantastic turnaround. I'm afraid you missed a lot there, mate. We've had 2 catches and a hit against Slovenia. They're only on 2 players left. She's down on her knees waiting for the catch, and there's one on the other side waiting for the counter. But here they come, releasing their balls. That's again not going to trouble the Austrians. They can dodge around that all day. They're bouncing around the feet. Oh, we got a catch there from Slovenia.
That makes it interesting again. 5-3 instead of 6-2. They're coming back. Okay, nothing so far.
Slovenia are hoping for another catch here. They're trying to attempt by sitting around half court, slowing their run back. Just trying to force that error from the...
And the catch, and the catch, and the hit. But the hit doesn't count because the player is already out because of the catch earlier. So it's 5-2, 6-2 again.
It never hurts to double tap, though, does it?
And Slovenia under pressure.
Oh,
that's unfortunate. And it's a double hit.
2 hits there against Austria. Slovenia are levelling that score line. Now we've got 4 Austrian players to the 2 Slovenian on. The same 2 as before. They're playing very wide, which means that it's very clear to the Slovenians who's going to be the target from the Austrian side. They're either throwing hard left or hard right. It also gives them the opportunity to get their throws coming in from both sides. A lot harder for the Austrians to track.
Okay, 3 balls for the Austrians and the attack. They choose to throw at both players at the same time, not to give them any indication where the ball was going.
Absolutely fantastic switch, crossing those balls over in mid-air. Great distraction play.
And the game is over. The time is up. And the time is up, and the score goes to Austria because they had 4 players left and the Slovenians only had 2 players left.
That's right.
So if the 3 minutes are up, then automatically the team who has more players on court wins the period.
Absolutely.
So the coach is intervening, giving new directions. talking to them what was good, what was bad, what went wrong.
That's right, they get that full-time coach, at least as long as the women there train together. He's always present, either giving advice or a sound ticking off. On the other side, the referees are hurrying up the Austrians from their chatter. They really shouldn't have a lot of time to talk in between games. That's what the timeouts are for, a 30-second grace period to discuss tactics and just have a minute, or half a minute.
Ready.
So we are seconds away from the second.
Everyone's ready for the second set.
If you see the insert, it's not correct at the moment because the Austrians won the first one, so it's 2-0 for Austria. But that will change in a second.
Getting two of the balls convincingly, letting the third to roll back to them. The Austrians have got one ball to defend. Where will the Slovenians go with this? Straight at the ball carrier. Easy defence there. That's 3 balls now for Austria, and they've got 5 seconds to make a difference. That second ball gone loose. Is anyone going to pick it up? No, not in time.
No, now there's 3 balls for the Slovenians. Let's see what they can bring.
No, that won't be called as passing the ball back, which is a rule we'll explain later, because no doubt someone will fall foul of it. But in general, if your team is up, you should not be rolling balls back to the other team.
And that's a hit. So there's a slight advantage again for the Austrian team. A double block from Nikola Studeny on the left wing. And now a 2-ball attack.
And you see another one of those pass and move options there from Slovenia.
Yeah, that's a great cross. Hard to see if you have the crosses. And that's a catch.
Straight in the chest of Nikola. She's going to take catches like that all day. She's already made 2. That's not going to be a problem for her.
Now the advantage grows. The advantage grows. 3 players Slovenia, 6 players Austria. Great dodging and no
quick
counter attack.
Well held, you know, putting the pressure on, getting those Slovenian girls back before regrouping with the rest of their team for a more powerful attack.
So now the Slovenians are under pressure. They have to do something.
And they don't. They bounce them around the feet of the number 13 there.
But if you choose that strategy always to cross the ball, it's sometimes the distance gets extremely long.
Absolutely,
so
yeah.
If you haven't enough speed in your throwing hand, then it's very risky.
Absolutely,
because the possibility of a catch could appear.
Yeah, thrown across the hypotenuse, I suppose it would be, of the triangle formed by the throw. Just gives that catcher on the wing a lovely long time to track that throw.
So now 2 balls for the Slovenians again. Let's see what they do. They hit a substitute player. That's funny. And 1 is out.
It looks like there may be a catch made on the Austrian side. Couldn't quite see past the backboard of this basketball net, but there's some applause.
And a catch
there. She looks almost surprised.
And that was a hit. That was a hit. The game is over. Clear win for the Austrian squad.
Easy finish there.
Makes it 4-0, 4-0, 2 games in a row for the Austrian women's national team.
Absolutely. Slovenia try and take the tactic of kneeling down the corner, presenting themselves as a smaller target. However, that reduces mobility, so anyone can throw from both sides, and you've got an entire flank to hit now. The Austrians looking buoyant. They're getting the crowd going. They're in the mood. They're in the zone. Slovenians a little more despondent. They're trying to G each other up into giving the performance they really need to.
So pretty decisive already. Third period in that period. A win for Austria will take down this match.
That's a false start there, but the game will. Oh no, the game will not continue.
Yeah, she did try to stop, but the stop wasn't hard enough for the referee to let the game go on. So he played it safe.
Yeah, no problem.
Gave her a false start, and we restart again.
That's much better from both teams.
2 balls for the Austrians, 1 for the Slovenian. Austria has to throw. Yeah, they shouldn't. And that's a hit.
Yeah,
the catch did not work.
The ball carrier for the Slovenians, obviously thinking the counter wasn't going to come as quick as would be necessary to catch them off guard. And that's a strong movement there from the girl on the left, on the right. Sorry, she's taking
13.
the catch there. Number 13.
Number 13, Umreich. And was that a catch or was it bounced off the board?
Catch, I think. Scooped just millimeters from the ground. Fantastic.
And we have 5-5 again. Everything is still. And a catch. I'm sorry, a hit. Austria lost the player and is now 1 player behind.
I don't think that's going to phase them too much, though. That wasn't a fantastic throw there from the girl on the left wing. He might be called for invalid on that, bouncing it into the floor. Meters in front of the Slovenians.
And now a counter-attack, and that's a hit.
That's more like it. That's what you want to see. Straight at the goal. Far too powerful catch.
Great dodging by the Slovenians, and the catch.
Wonderful catch.
Annika Jedlička from the Austrian squad brings her player back on. Now we have 5-3 advantage Austria.
Really shutting down that Slovenian
the Slovenians mainly focused on targeting the player who has the ball on the other side.
That's right.
I don't know if that's quite a good idea, because the blocking of the Austrians is pretty strong and there is not a great chance of eliminating the player.
Not at all. They're not going to get through these defences. They really need to switch up their tactic and maybe go for a player that might not be paying attention, maybe next to the ball carrier. But we'll see if the Slovenians change up their tactic or whether they're going to stick doggedly with their...
they stick to the tactic to always attack the player with the defense ball in hand. I don't know if that's a good thing, but they're sure good dodgers.
Now I don't know if that's going to count as stepping off the court or not. She did sort of avoid the ball, but
the ref is taking it. This is not this does not count.
No, we're stopping this.
The whistle was before the hit.
Sean Scott doing an awful lot of refereeing in the UK with the UK DBA, refereeing the top level, along with other UK DBA refs, Rob Kearns and Ryan Fozzard, just to maintain impartiality here in these showcase games.
Okay, the refs made up their mind, nothing was called, and a strong hit from the left wing, Nikola Šudini. Again, the wing players have the stronger arms. And a double hit.
Didn't even see that coming.
And that's what a hit as well?
That's where that kneeling down tactic pays off, but they're saying no catch. Or they're saying a hit. The catch does count. Maybe there was a second ball that we didn't track.
Yeah. It appears to be a hit and a catch and a hit.
That's right. Oh,
and another catch. Yeah, that's and a catch back.
Getting right down there to hit that catch.
And that was a hit. I guess that was a hit. The game is over. Austria wins it again.
That's right.
Making it 6-0, and as well as the men's before, they can't lose this match because there are only 2 periods coming up, and that's a great start.
Fantastic start again from Austria. You can tell they're training as a unit. They really know how to utilise each player as and when they should, and then in their own right, they're all doing fantastic plays. So they're never caught off guard. Watching one ball, as soon as it's out of the danger zone, focus back on the game. Slovenians a little slower to react to events that have already passed. So we're going to want to get back on the court as quickly as possible for the referees. The Slovenian coach stepping in to have a quick chat. No doubt a little heated there. He really expects better from his girls at this stage. There's the man himself.
So we also going to see new players on court at the Austrian. You see in the middle running for the ball. False start, maybe nervous. 15 years old.
Oh, yeah. Really, man?
The youngest on the squad.
Bringing them into the sport as early as possible. Again, it's something we're trying to foster in the UK. Getting it played in schools and stuff. You're doing a fantastic job of that as well over here.
Yeah, indeed. There was the first all out Vienna school cup in dodgeball.
Excellent.
And as we mentioned that, we see a catch from the Austrians. So just to finish the thought, school cup, children from 8 to 16 participated, over 1,000.
Over 1,000. That is absolutely staggering
throughout the
numbers
city.
For this fledgling sport.
It's growing. It's growing. It's growing.
Yeah. You see the Slovenians are back on 5 players. The Austrians are down on what looks like 4 from this angle, so the Slovenians are going to be forced to play when they have more balls.
And a catch, but they're now turning it around again.
So we now have 5 players on the Austrian side to 4 on Slovenia. That looks like a hit to me. Off she goes. But maybe she was the player that was already out for the catch.
Yeah, it has to be. It has to be.
That's worked out very fortunate for the Slovenians.
And the kneeling tactic pays off on that one. Yeah, easy catch for the Slovenians. That's you always have to be careful. If you just throw one ball at a kneeling person, then it's hard. Then it's easier to make the catch for her because she can concentrate on just one ball, is in a lower position, And yeah, maybe the Austrians should not try, because not all of the players are kneeling down.
Absolutely, the kneeling tactic is particularly effective when you have support players on court. When you're last one in, maybe not so much.
Yeah.
They get some staggered throws from Austria there. They really need to try and reorganise themselves, don't get flustered. Slovenia's looking strong now.
And here comes the counter attack. Too short, too short. Couldn't hit the opposing player. Yeah. You see number 7, Damla Imran. She's only 15, but still competing for the team. And a missed catch.
So
very close one.
And they needed it. They really need to try and bring a player back in at this stage in the game. So understandable tactic, understandable move. You still got your 15-year-old player in there. She's got a strong arm. Look at that go. Straight into the hands of the Slovenian. Oh, I'm very, very sorry indeed.
So we have the last one, the captain of the Austrian team, Anna Polani. Let's see what she can do. Try to catch, but last second decision changer. Yeah. But she has to. She has to.
She's going to want to send another ball back to the opposite side there, because she can't make the Slovenians throw just one ball. However,
and now they are in 5 seconds mode. Have to make a valid attempt.
Oh, it didn't look terribly valid, the one that crossed her, but the other one
was catchable. I guess that was catchable.
Yeah.
If you go for it, you can pick that one.
Same again from Slovenia. Again, they're employing a tactic of a distracting throw that seems to be going across the Austrian player.
Yeah, and the Austrian player, she knows she has to catch. The time is running out. And that's over.
There it is indeed.
First points for Slovenia, though.
Yeah. So. But again, they make all the difference later on in the groups. We'll have to see how that pans out.
So we will see if the Austrians are changing again to their starting positions, or if they keep continuing bringing new players in. We will have a look. From my point of view, Slovenia is not changing as much as we thought because of the big one.
That's right. They're getting a couple of replays there. Some of these strong plays from the Slovenians. And there's a little pep talk there, heated pep talk going on with the Austrians. They're trying to find out what went wrong out there. They've gone from an absolutely dominant game to losing their heads a little bit, and they really want to get themselves back in the game. You've got to remember, this is their home turf. They're trying to put on a show here. Slovenians looking strong, resolute as always, rarely showing any, giving any glimpses to whether they're feeling good or bad about the game. They're just keeping the game faces on. Now we've got next game about to start, the players lining up. Referee Sean Scott's getting the game ready, whistle in, and I think we're getting some false starts again. Very, very, very keen indeed. These players getting off their mark as quickly as they possibly can. Unfortunately, just a bit ahead of time. We're getting an awful lot of false starts, and we're going to have to address how they're dealt with later on in the tournament, maybe tomorrow morning, after a quick referee discussion. There's another false start, but they're letting the game continue. She's admitted that one. That's 1 ball Slovenia, 2 to Austria. They're trying to pin that corner player, but instead the counter from the opposite side hits the number 13 from Austria. She wasn't ready at all. She's out, I'm afraid. Seeing a miss and 3 balls for a strong attack now from Austria. Staggering the throws, really want to be getting those together where possible to provide a much more difficult dodging situation for the Slovenians. They're going to bring their powerful throws back. Still, as Max was saying, they're just targeting the Austrian player with the ball, which is going to shut them down from any counter-attack, but really isn't going to present many opportunities for a hit. And if the Austrians are smart, they're just going to block those balls left and right across the court and get them all back, retain possession for themselves. Okay, that's 3 more balls now for Austria. They're running up together. Using 2, retaining 1 for the defence. Slovenia passing around to the wings again, as they are apt and off to do. That's a hit on Austria, so the Slovenians are now leading by 2 players, I think. Yeah, 6 players Slovenia, 4 Austria. A wild one across the court there, from Austrian right across to Slovenian right.
Okay, we always see high attempts from the Austrians. They mainly go on the heads and on the chests.
That's right.
There was a hit.
I'm not entirely sure what that was a applause for, but oh,
and that was a hit as well.
Yep.
So
Slovenia losing a player there. They're still looking good and strong in this game. Feeling like we're heading into what should be the final minute of this game now. Of course, that doesn't account necessarily for all the stoppage times. 20 minutes is usually enough to play a frame of 5. Again, bouncing harmlessly near Nicholas Studeni's feet.
And the hit. Austria is catching up. Only one player less than the Slovenians.
This would
Great
be a
dodging.
great time for a hero to make a catch, but it's not necessary. Even if they just force the draw, Austria do not need to lose points at this stage.
And they equal the game. 3 versus 3, and the catch.
Oh, and a catch.
That's a game changer. That's a game changer.
Ask for anything more at this stage, really, the Austrians. All they need to do is just avoid, you know, play the game, dodge the balls. Losing the title there. That's right. Still got to release in time.
But they got a catch, and it's open again. It's open against 3 versus 3. A catch is so powerful in this seconds left.
The Austrians were not wanting to give away any catches here, and I think that's time.
So each
team's
team
getting a
get a point.
We're going to end up at 7-3 there.
But still a good start for the home team. Still a good start.
Fantastic start, and that's going to be the end of the exhibition, or the showcase match in the Women's European Championships. And so catching a couple of replays here as the Austrian girls celebrate, dance around the circle with their eagle. You can see some of those great catches there and some movement from Studeni. On the left hand side there's a stunning hit there in this last game. Music's pumping again, Slovenians are having a pep talk, whereas the Austrians are with the crowd. They're really getting a buzz off this atmosphere, I think. I know I would be. And there you go, final score, 7 Austria, 3 Slovenia. Referee Rob Kearns there is lining up the balls for what's going to be the third and final showcase match of this evening.
Yeah, and it's a premiere. It's a premiere. We have the mixed competition, as we mentioned before, first time ever, part of the European Championships. And we are very excited to see how dodgeball teams are preparing for this.
That's right, they're going to be using the men's size balls, is that right?
That's true, and they are starting with 3 players each from each gender.
Okay. Which is going to be more in the traditional sense that we've seen women's dodgeball in the past. This is the first time when the women's only game is going to be having the smaller 7-inch balls. It allows them to grip them properly in one hand. Up until this point, they've tended to have to curl them sort of like a bowl, either sideways from the hip or across like a cricket ball. Now they're able to
perfectly explained.
Well, now they're able to grip them in the hand and throw them more like a pitch. And you're going to get a lot more power, a lot more accuracy with these sorts of throws. So that's changed in the women's game, so we'll see if that's had any effect on the way they've trained, and see if they can still remember how to play it with the slightly larger, I believe, 9-inch balls of these.
It's true, and what I'm interested in is to see how each nation is setting up the tactics.
Yes.
Who to attack, try to attack the men first, try to attack the women first, which is better, which has advantage, disadvantage.
Absolutely.
Because every nation and every participating team has to find that out for themselves. They have no experience where they can profit from.
No. We do a little bit of this in the UK, but typically we find that in the mixed tournaments, just on a physical level, the men are tending to throw faster than the women, which tends to lead into essentially 2 3-on-3 games. If the women play the women, the men play the men. I believe that this is going to be a bit more of a mix-up, as we're using top-level players, and we're going to try and use the individual talents of each player. So there's fantastic, strong women throwers that we've seen over the last year, and some of the really, really strong catching that we've just seen in those games there.
And now on the screen, the Swiss part of the Swiss team is cheering on their mixed team. They are competing men's and mixed, so they have their fans.
Yeah, sporting some wonderful shirts there with the cross-studding. That's a nice harken back to their roots.
So the referees are finding out about how to arrange themselves.
Having a quick chat as our eagle is strutting his funky
here's the
eagle
lineup.
stuff.
Andreas Koch appears twice. It's just one Andreas Koch actually.
I think one's enough.
But he's the captain. He is the captain of the team. and he will lead his squad into this first opening game of a totally new division.
And there we see the Swiss team there, headed up by Orly. So she's assuming the captaincy for this. Over on the Swiss mixed team. Now we're doing a little bit of training with or watching some of the training with the Swiss earlier here. They were a little less clear on some of the finer rules of the European game, as they seem to be quite new to dodgeball. Like I said, they turned up to the European Championships in Stockholm, and I believe one other since, but this is an entirely different squad from the one I first encountered a couple of years ago. So there's some real potential.